Namaskar. Myself, Kumar Rakesh. Just welcome to the Global Governance News TV. And today we'll discuss the challenges of social media, right to privacy, and the government of India, the role of government in India. But we'll talk also the globally how the social media challenges going on. If you see the challenges, how challenges going on in our society for uh, the social media. The social media is now it's really asset also, boon also, and curse also, sometimes good also, sometimes bad also. Its reach, impact, and potential in a globalized world is no longer contested. It is a fascinating phenomenon which presents both challenges and opportunities to governments and law enforcement agencies across the spectrum. An investigation into how India has grappled with the challenges posed by the medium, as also whether social media can be harnessed to act as a force multiplier for our enforcement agencies is essential. Issues related to the inadequacy of the Indian legal regime in dealing with social media and fears relating to breach of privacy and censorship of internet also need to be addressed. And just to we'll discuss also some of the enforcement agencies how in India and globally from the this is a social phenomena, this is a global phenomena and prospect and challenges and in concern of India, if we'll talk about the Indian system, so traceability cause and we have discussing now Twitter is in the uh, Korean now and just WhatsApp issues and already hot in our country and India. In IT, the Information Technology Guidelines and Digital Media Ethics Code, Rules 2021 imposed certain obligation and significant social media intermediaries. Rule 4.2 puts an obligation to ensure traceability of the originator of information on their platforms. This is nowadays a matter of concern also, or a matter of discussion also. Consequently, WhatsApp has filed a petition in Delhi High Court. WhatsApp contends that the mandate for traceability violates the privacy rights of the Indian citizen by rendering WhatsApp unable to provide encrypted services. And government response, if you see, the government primarily relies on the argument that privacy is not a absolute right and that its traceability obligation is appropriate and sufficiently restricted. Notably, the new rules mandate traceability only in the case of significant social media entities, that is, those that meet the user threshold of 50 lakhs users, which WhatsApp does. Traceability also subject to the older order being passed by the court or the government agencies and only in the absence of any alternatives. While it is indeed that true that privacy is not an obsolete right, in the Supreme Court of India in the two case Puthaswamy's decisions of 2017 and 2018 has laid conditions for restricting this right. In Puthaswamy cases, Supreme Court also clarified that any restriction on this right must be necessary, proportionate, and include a safeguards against abuse. An issue of traceability and we just know appropriate safeguard against abuse and the presumption of criminality and explore the alternative already has ability to access encrypted data. This is a surveillance powers of the government are in the case vast and overreaching, recognized even by the Justice B.M. Sri Krishna Committee report of 2018. Importantly, government already has the ability to access encrypted data under the IT Act, but that is a matter of concern and that is a matter of conflictions today also. Notably, Section 69 and 3 of the Information Technology Act and the rules, I'm talking about India rules, 17 and 13 of IT rules 2009 require intermediaries to assist with this decryption, where have the technical ability to do so and where law enforcement has no alternatives. Judicial scrutiny section also there, legislative changes needed. But here we are discussing how just uh, our in country how this social media is going to be try to influence the political powers, political persons. That is on other side fault. The government of India has given the free hand to the Twitters and Facebook and WhatsApp and other platforms. But now we'll discuss here how the challenges of social media in India, right to privacy, and the role of government here, as well as we have parallel with the Germany also and Canada also. So we will also discuss about the in your country how the social challenges of social media are there. So we have esteemed panelist Dr. Aloka Sharma, the professor in the Delhi University, and is the law professor of law. So will take the inputs from the legal angle, how this legalities of this social media is there, and how government is facing the challenges that people are facing challenges. We have Mr. Rakesh Tiwari, the Canada. He's editor-in-chief of the Hindu Times Group. We have Dr. R.P. Bhatt, is an Indologist and scholar from the Germany. We have Dr. Vishwendu Bhattacharya. He's a senior journalist and doctorate in the basically media and communication, say PhD, and Anita Sharma ji. And why you are wearing the mask? I could not quite get it. What message you want to give? Why are you wearing the mask? Anita
Sorry, I am somewhere in other place. That's why I have just put on mask.
No, you have
Just for
some places,
protection
but
because it's COVID time.
I think you're some other place in some places, and I think you can, without mask, you can talk. But that is a good symbol for that you are giving message. Still, corona is there, so I have no problem. If you have no problem, we have no problem, no issue.
maybe because of Twitter पर बैन के खिलाफ में तो नहीं अनीता जी हैं?
No, that is not an issue. That's okay, sir. See,
Just
No, I'm
please.
I
Please. No issue. No, please. That my request was there. If you're there, that's okay. So I'll start from Dr. Aloka Sharma ji. How just you analyze and think the challenges of social media in India, right to privacy, how the other media platform of the foreign behaving with the Indian government and Indians, how we are protected or not. So please give your inputs just to start our discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Rakesh ji, for giving the opportunity. Now, as a law teacher, I must say that we primarily talk about the constitution and we talk about the rights. Every person has the right, citizens, even the other person has rights, fundamental rights, which includes the right to privacy, which is very, very important right. But this aspect must be clear that all fundamental rights are not absolute. There can never be any absolute fundamental right, and they are subjected to the reasonable restrictions which are mentioned in the constitution itself. So if any right, we say, okay, I have a right to privacy, if that is violated by people, but on the prescribed guidelines, so whatever grounds have already been mentioned in the constitution or in the laws made by the parliament, then we are all subject to those laws. So first thing is this, that right to privacy cannot be absolute. Number two, any foreign company or even Indian company, whatever, if they have to function in a country, they have to follow law of the land. They are not above the law of the land. If the common man is getting facilities, if the common man is getting the opportunity to express himself or herself on the social media and feeling empowered, and they are gaining benefits, simultaneously these companies are also earning huge profit from the country. So they cannot say that, okay, we are providing the platform, but we are not under any of the rules or regulation. So whatever the country makes law and rules, these companies have to follow. Thirdly, the government of any nation has a primary rule to protect the safety and sovereignty of any country. Now, it is on not only the physical borders. In present scenario, basically digital borders have become more important, and we have seen that how many kind of strategies have been used by terrorists or other miscreant nations by using the digital space. So, digital sovereignty is also with the country. Now it is the responsibility of the government to present such laws, such rules and regulation to protect the interest of the country. Now the government, when they make any rule or make any law, the parliament gives the validity and they pass the law. Now when a law is passed by following the proper procedure, that is binding on all the people. So if we are Indian, we are consumers, or be it company, everybody has to follow that. So when the rule is created in order to protect the safety and sovereignty of the country, be it Twitter, be it Google, be it Facebook, everybody has to follow that law. Now you see, by losing, by not appointing the proper officer in the country, now Twitter has lost the legal, immunity from any legal action, and they have faced one of the problem also. So if they violate the law of the country, then the law will take its course, and it will be very dangerous for these companies. So I see that yes, government has every right, and this bill, and you see the rules are very much clear, and they're not affecting at all any of the right to privacy of any of the common user. These rules will come into picture when any content is generated which is against the safety and security of the country, or making creating any kind of violence or riots, or any kind of objectionable content regarding female and children. So only in this situation the encryption will be come into play. Rest of the people are free. So I don't feel that these laws are in any way against the right to privacy.
So nice, Alokaji. Just as we know, in India, the new IT rules for the social media companies that come into effect last month and mandate large platforms like Facebook and Twitter to undertake the greater due diligence and to make this digital platform more accountable and responsible for the content posted by them, as you just already stated. So Parliamentary Standing Committee on the IT has summoned the Twitter representative to appear before it on the 18th of November, one day after. And then and the panel asks Twitter to present its version on safeguarding citizens' rights and prevention of misuse of social and online news media platform, including a special emphasis on women's security and digital space. So this is also a matter of concern for the India. And recently we have seen how Nigeria just banned Twitter and now accepted the coup, the Indian app. So I'll take inputs from Dr. R.P. Bhatt, and then come to Alokaji take the answer. So how does social media and social media companies are behaving in the Germany? And how the comparative to India, has a Govt of India concerned with the social media?
Thanks, Rakesh, for inviting me to this extremely important discussion. Yes, I feel that there is a huge difference made by the social media companies, especially by Twitter and Facebook, between European Union and India. You remember that Facebook and Twitter have been both fined by European Union for for the breach of data, of privacy. Yeah. It was in 2020 that Twitter was fined of 450,000 euro, and Facebook was fined by in 2021 110 million, and 2017 about $122 million. So they absolutely they are following European Union's rules, and then plus also the rules and regulations and laws of the individual countries. So the European Union is coming out very strongly, of course, but the approaches are different. I feel Indian government is rather weak. Their arguments are there. They are pleading like as if Twitter and Facebook and all this social media was a kind of, some indirect boss of Indian government in some ways. That's my feeling as I read about this. But my feeling is also that Indians and Indian government of India need to look at it very carefully, because this reminds us of the East India Company. How East India Company ruled, and how they entered India, and how they later on extract the wealth from India, divided and ruled people. And exactly this is happening now today, because if you don't agree, or if you don't respect the rule or the law of the land, then you have no business to be in that country at all. And there are, of course, in case of India, misinformation is very much there. We read every day, and misleading information are a lot there. And the funny thing is also that, for example, Twitter They have their own law for India. How come it is possible? Because in Europe, it is not like that. In Europe, they have to follow the European law. But in India, they are claiming that they want to implement their own law and they want to serve the people in India. And other thing is that very strangely, that India has the most users. I think there are, if I'm not mistaken, over about almost 350 million users in India, and till 2025, it is supposed to reach about 500 million users. So, I mean, it's a huge number, and if these giants, social media giants, if they lose India, I think, I mean, they will lose a lot. They will lose a lot because India is the market. This is
No.
for sure. Yeah.
No, that's okay. India is a market, just to say, and how Germany is behaving, that matter of concern in Germany as well as different parts of the world also. The company of America, how they behave with the President Trump, just Facebook and Twitter also. So this is a should not be done for the private company, for the with the government, any part of the government. So I'll take Rakesh Tiwari ji. Just how do you think this is a relation between the India and Canada, and just how the Canada got, there is any challenges social media in Canada also, and just how just take comparative India and Canada.
Well, specifically when you talk to me about Canada, I will say social media has played a huge part when we are talking about oppression against the black community, or you can say that native Indians who are living here. So people, it has given in a way more, I will say, hand and right to the common person to act like a media. While all these things are there, at the same time, I do go along with our fellow panelists who are there, and which they have made the concern with the social media behaving like anything, like they can do anything and everything. I have made some points, and my points are there that somehow this notion was getting there that. Mainstream media, or you can say traditional media, be it print, means they are getting obsolete, and social media is taking over. And social media, especially this owned by these companies, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Google, they started behaving like they are above than any democracy and above than a whole world. And they have somewhere a lot of governments were challenged, and they were all under or behind with the freedom of speech. While this particular case, which just came to the knowledge, and where the police has made the FIR against the Twitter, I will say more than this law which came, it has to come a bit more stricter. I will say that I'm bringing another thing. The YouTube, which is like an open platform, so much garbage and filth is coming over there, and anybody can put over there that you put it, and we should look at too, because that spreads lies too. So I'm with the government on this issue, although I don't want any government in the world, including India, to curtail my freedom of speech, and should just go with the FIR or anything, because a concern comes about with the whistleblower. So a person, like if somebody is bringing the issue, and then government or the police, they want to penalize that person to get that. But I think these companies are they have to follow the guidelines. And as I mentioned, they are creating a lot of things, hatred, a lot of news and information which comes in the public domain. Meantime, it is declared as a fake news or anything, and somehow it is too late. Time riots happen, people get hurt in that way. In my humble understanding, again, I'm with the government, and I think worldwide, all the other governments are going to take a bit stringent action. So make sure that nobody's rights is violated. If somebody's fake news is creating or something like that, so that should be totally come under the law. Thank you.
Okay, so Dr. Vishwendra Bhattacharya. Just you are hearing me? Dr.
Yeah, I'm
Vishwendu?
hearing you. Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
the latest development, as you know, how the government of India is just going through the different laws, and just how the Twitter reacted, how the WhatsApp gone the court. This is a way of the business, because they are doing a business. They are not the
Yeah,
social,
actually,
social welfare. They are not doing that. So they should not behave like that. Do you agree or not?
no, actually, with this, what Madam in the first speech she told that there is an reasonable restriction to the privacy. So since you are dealing with the Indians, so you have to abide by the rules of India. That is very clear, and it is because when we heard about the European Union, we heard that we are get to know that they have to obliging the rules of European Union. So it is clear cut for Indian government, then they have to go by Indian laws. This is very clear. Second thing is this Twitter is doing the business. At the same time, they are also doing the service. In providing information or the allowing and sharing the information is also a service. So service is also a kind of business. But even if it is not a business, but if you want to exist in the country, you have to abide by certain rules.
Yeah.
So if the government give you certain clear cut direction, and it is clear cut direction that you have to follow those guidelines for running your operation in the country. So there is no reason to deny this, because denying this thing is shows that the utter negligence and disrespect to a country. And I feel this is the arrogancy Twitter, especially Twitter, has shown today. So it is in utter disrespect to Indians and India government. So I feel this government have the enough scope to at least to take action against them, because see, whatever be the consequence and whatever be the ground they have, but at the same time we have to follow that this we are governed by certain rules of our country. So what Madam told is very clearly, this fundamental rights or right to privacy is that much, that should be reasonable restrictions. But reasonable restrictions for whom? For the regulator. So India government, they have their certain provisions. So I feel this Twitter and WhatsApp and whoever it is, if they want to run their operation in the country, they have to have that kind of tolerance, and they have to have that respect to India and Indians to follow the guidelines.
Okay. So Anita Chaudhary, do you hear me? Anita ji? So just to give us input. Hello?
Yes, Rakesh ji.
Just give the inputs how the government of India is behaving. Is it justified or not in the name of freedom, in the name of privacy? How this business house is behaving with the India ethos and Indian politics and just the bureaucracy and governance. Is it ethical, legal or not?
Look, Rakesh ji, first of all, I just want to clear here that yes, our constitution has given us some fundamental rights, but it has also mentioned there that when its time comes, these rights are not absolute, as Arokaji has said. When your hand is touching my nose, then the right of uh, privacy and right to freedom of speech, it comes under the scan. So it's mentioned in one order during the Aadhaar card issue by Supreme Court also. So when it comes to the security, when it comes to your privacy, you have to reveal all the detail to the government when government needs it. So Twitter is behaving like a behaving as a, I will say that East India company, because when East India company, when on that era, when East India company reached to India, where they were able to do their business, they were doing it by love, but they have applied the crook policy also, and where it was not possible, they have created their own army, own Fauj, own Sena, and they started their battle with that Riyasat or that Raja, and you can say that the part of India. So now the government of India has totally on their own, and they have declared that there is a new IT Act, and under that IT Act, if any company wants to do business on land of India, they have to follow that rule. And as a third party, uh, uh, Twitter has lost that position. Also, the excuses Twitter was giving that how can they will reveal, because it's a right, or it will be the violation of the right of privacy. But here, government of India has given all the details that whatever it is, when it's come to the security of a on person or to the country, you have to reveal. I am just explaining it with the recent example. One incident has happened in UP Ghaziabad, where because of their personal issues, uh, one community has hitted other community, and the from other community, that is the Muslim community, they have started uh, blowing on Twitter. Twitter has not taken any action, and that was on that level that it can create riots and violence. So the UP government has filed a FIR against Twitter, including
Yeah.
those journalists also. So these are the things. If the social media platform is hitting our harmony, if the social media platform is selective to deleting the messages and the post, if the social media platform is violating all the rules of the India, then it is necessary that India government of India has to take action against that platform, either it's Facebook or Twitter. But
Okay.
here I will also mention here that it is not the only fault of the Twitter, because if we will go through the initial stage when the Twitter has launched in many countries including India, all the government of that country, they have given access to the Twitter for their official communication to the media and common people. They were not interacting directly to the media officially or to the common people. The Twitter, where we were getting information, either it's media or it's common people. So when you will give the access from your end, that the advantage is it's but obvious that platform will take all the advantages. Look, Twitter has taken. Now the government of India has realized that this Twitter is now become a bhasmasur, and it can harm the harmony, it can harm the security of the country, the internal security of society. So they have now started acting. But yes, if any company if any company want to work on land of any other country, that company has to follow the law of land. This is the agreement.
No, that's
Twitter has
yeah, yeah.
also
That should be. That should be.
I'm sure that Twitter has also has launched in India under this agreement only. So we have now not only government, now the common people has also there come together and think on that. This is a big issue that may create problem uh, 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 later on, and this problem may be very that kind of dangerous that people will not even believe to their family also, because the Twitter is behaving like this, that we are not believing on our society. The Hindus are not believing on Muslim. The Muslim are the kind of fabricated news, the kind of uh, fake handlers. These are the things that these are the issues that we have to work out. And government of India, whatever the government of India is taking action, it's perfect. If Twitter will not work under the act of the government of India, Twitter may go from India, because Nigeria has also banned.
Yeah.
Many countries have banned. In America has also opposed Twitter. Australia has opposed. Power 5 countries have issued their joint statement against Twitter I think 2019. So Twitter is facing lots of problem, and Twitter is behaving as a master of all,
Really,
running their hunter and
Anita ji, we are on the go, the special program, the Twitter. We have the from US Mr. Rakesh Kavsari. We have just he is here. Mr. Rakesh Kavsari, just to can you highlight just the issues about the USA and just also join Mr. Abhishek Singh, the IT expert from the USA. Welcome, Abhishek Singh. Unmute yourself. Yeah, Mr. Rakesh Kavsari.
Yeah, Namaskar everyone. Thank you so much for giving the opportunity to talk on the very good concept here and very important concept. Before I start, I just want to let you guys all know when this Twitter, WhatsApp, and Facebook were started. It's just that Twitter started in 2006 and the WhatsApp started in 2009 and the Facebook started in 2004. By the time they started, their revenue is completely dependent on the India. Why I'm bringing this point over here is like the most of the revenue what they are earning, it's from the India itself. And if they are not going to follow whatever the India rules and regulations are there, which is violating and which is creating a lot of, uh, I mean, issues where it is provoking the other people, it is going to be destroying the one specific religion. They're targeting all the time for the one specific religion, and whenever that is happening, they are not taking any kind of steps. It has happened in the past since last 5 years. We are seeing it's every day one of the other reason it is taking, and they are creating a lot of mobs. You take any state in India out of 28 states, everywhere, one of the reason they're bringing up and they're misusing this completely any kind of media, especially Twitter. If you see any kind of issues are coming, any person from India targeting for the one religion, and and they are like go on creating these kind of issues on the specific religions and the young generations. If you see the youth, they are completely misusing this, and they are completely provoking the youth to do these kind of things where they can target the one specific religion. So all the time it is happening with the Hindus. So if you take any state, now you take example Bangladesh, and Bengal elections, what happened? They are coming from there just like that. They are creating a lot of videos. They are simply using the past videos, whatever happened in the past, and they are using it, and they are creating a lot of mobs. So it is one of the
Okay.
big uh, issue where you need to target, and Indian government should
No, that
create
that
this
that, that is
and
that is issue. But you're living in USA. I'll check the from your inputs how this in USA how Twitter has behaved. I'll take Ajay Ramola, the senior journalist from the India, and just also
yeah.
keep an eye on the
One
social media.
one last thing, Rakesh ji. One last thing. I just want to add from the US point of view.
No, I'll take you this second round. This is first round
Okay.
is
Yeah.
going
Sure.
on. So
Okay.
the second round I'll take, and after the
Okay.
Abhishek, Ajay Ramola ji, how just this company, the social media company, the behavior is appropriate with consent of India for the Indians? Do you think it should be continue or just it should be discontinue or it should be banned?
So social media companies, most of the social media companies, we have to understand that they all are profit-making organizations. They are here for profit, and they will seek profit from anywhere it comes, whether it be terrorist, whether it be any mob psychology, uh, anti-India narrative people. So they will do anything for money, and that is where the government has to come strictly against them. It has to provide them guidelines. Look here, we are a nation, we are a secular nation. We have to run a country, and it cannot be run according to your whims and fancies. So I think so. Okay, right of privacy is all right, but what about the diagnosis of the content? Why should, because they say that it we are just a platform, but okay, but isn't it your duty to clean the crap? The crap put in the platform has to be cleaned by you. Why it should be cleaned by the government? First of all, you should diagnose it whether it is appropriate or not. For not only for political discourses, But I'm talking about other ills of the society, like for example pornography. I mean, is it not your duty to control that? So I think so. We have to be strict with all these social platforms. And now, actually, somebody said very truly that it has become a mob mentality. Where few people start gathering together, and start creating a narrative. And that narrative, if it is against the country, it has to be stopped. And any strict way, we have to be strict at any cost. We cannot let them lose, and destroy the fabric of the nation, which is secular, which is peaceful. And we cannot let them destroy our culture also. Thank you.
Okay, so nice, Ajay Ramolaji. Abhishek Singh,
Yeah.
just from the city, I think the creator of the Twitter and the Facebook and the all social media stuffs, and just he also IT expert living in the Boston. So Abhishek Singh, just
Yeah.
as an experienced IT person, and as an Indian, I can't say the American, but as an Indian, so how do you just analyze the situation, the challenges of social media, and just the how the government of India is behaving against those companies and nowadays?
Yeah, thank you, Rakesh ji. So, being IT sector employee are working here, I would say Mark Zuckerberg and Mr. Dorsey should understand that they cannot put the dual policy or dual standard in front of social media. So the policy should be uniform, and it should be same for the US as well as same for the India and any other country. So this is the matter, and it is a serious concern. Like the matter is like country needs to believe on you on the basis of like your authentication and authorization. So India is, everybody knows that India of 1.4 billion population is there. So data security is the major concern from India. Lots of, if they have to show that if we are relying on Twitter or if we are relying on Facebook, Instagram, our data would be safe. It should not go on the wrong hand. And yes, as I said, that dual standard will not work out here. Whatever the policy you are putting for a country, the same thing should be applicable for the country B. Doesn't matter which part of the globe that country belong to. And I am very much agree with Rakesh Kaushari ji, as he said that sometime India has become a huge market for them, right? And if you see their revenue in last 5 years, you will see that exponential growth happened. So they should show some credibility when they are showing some data on social media. It should not like that only money matters. If somebody is putting a wrong information and paying a lot of money, you should not promote that kind of thing. Many propagandas came. You know that India election happened in India, but all these examination and all these permutation combination has made in US. Even if you see the recent past farm bill, a lot of toolkits came in the picture, lot of planning happened, which is far beyond India. So let them made their stuff clear that things should be same for everyone, and there should be some global standard and global rules and regulation which has to be avoided by everyone and should be transparent. So yeah, that's it, Rakesh ji.
But I think you spoke diplomatically, I think, and how just India government of India is behaving with the companies. So I think you should give the facts how they are minting the money with India and not following the norms of India as the norms and the new laws enacted by the government of India. So this is
No,
also a matter of concern. So I'll take Dr. Aloka Sharma, just a legal expert and the professor in Delhi University, how just they are the behaving, how should behave accordingly.
They are behaving as if they are the kings. They know
Yeah.
the importance of the social media in the present day scenario. And when the young population, you see the children of the schools, they are all using social media. And that too in the COVID time, when everybody is confined to the home, and they are only, in addition to their domestic work and the professional work, everybody is active on the social media. So they know the importance of social media, and that is why these companies are, bargaining on that thing, that they say, yes, we are the requirement of the country, and country cannot, take any action against us, because people are so much indulged in our trade and practices that they cannot live without it. And people are really, they are using social media so much. But the issue is that we have seen for the last few months, or you can say few years, we have seen that many fake news have been uploaded without checking, without verifying of the facts, and they were, spread like the forest fire. And we have seen so many communal riots in our country, and different kind of toolkits, as the panelists are talking about. And in the elections we have seen, and many problems were created because of these fake news. And ultimately, after the investigation of the police, we found that these are completely wrong information, and there was no such kind of incident. So for the last many years we have seen this, and this Ghaziabad incident is the recent one. And so you see, this is the point. These companies are making profit, and these companies feel that they are inevitable for any country. The problem is that our Indian people are not coming up with any of these kind of facilities or social media platforms, so that we can give a challenge to these companies. So in absence of any domestic kind of platform, which is not that popular, these companies try to impose their conditions, they are monopolies on the country. But you see, if the government should give up, then it will be a wrong example in future. And no government in the world can give this kind of leniency to any company, even it is the Indian company. So Indian company can also cannot function against the interest of the Indian people or Indian nation. So in any situation, the government has a power, and it has a duty, rather I should say, to control these social media platforms in the interest of the safety and security and sovereignty of the country. As I already mentioned, digital sovereignty is, now the more important than the physical sovereignty of the country, because you see that it is very difficult to encroach a territory of the country in physical form. But cyberspace, as we all know, it's very difficult to define cyberspace, and it's very wide. So we have to control these companies by imposing our laws strictly on these companies. So we have to implement these rules in order to set the example. And we have seen, like Facebook and Google, they have already given the undertaking that yes, they have already appointed the requisite 3 officers for the country. So if we impose strict stringent action, the other countries will follow suit. So Twitter will also, you have seen that they have issued that in future they have already talked somebody, and they will appoint some person. So if the government will be strict in taking action, these companies have to perform as per the rule of the land. This is what I feel.
So nice, Dr. Alogaji, just you stated out how the company should behave and the digital sovereignty. So I'll take the Vishek after the Rakesh Tiwari ji. Just you living in Canada, and how does digital sovereignty to the concerned company has been given or not, and how do you just think, and how do you analyze the situation in India and Canada regarding the digital sovereignty for the sake of the nation interest?
Can I? May I?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Please.
Let me mention that, and I will say Canada is following the European Union and mostly Germany. So in Germany, I have a quote here. Heritage Minister, has hinted that Canada's forthcoming legislation will be modeled after Germany's Nets law. The law allows for social media companies to be fined up to 50 million euros for failing to remove what the legislation calls obviously illegal content from their site within 24 hours of being notified. I would like to mention a couple of points here, and other panelists who are there, and Kumar Rakesh, your attention to add this. When this is called a social media, why not this media should come under the same laws what other media such as traditional media, be it print, be it TV, be it radio, is coming there when they are proclaiming that we are media? So why not? And not only that, every information which we print, we go on radio, wherever we go, we become liable towards it. We become liable towards it, that if we do not, if we misprint anything, if we do not go apologize or take care of it, we get stringent action against us. So same kind of law should be applied with them, number one. The another thing which I would like to say, that meantime is now there has to be calculation, because how many people's life, family.
Tiwari ji, my
Ji.
question was different. You are you already just share about the Canadian government thoughts, how they are going and go away. But my question, my concern is that just how the relation between India and Canada due to digital sovereignty, how affected or not is any incident just affected due to digital sovereignty and due to this social media. I'll take all the question from the fake news and toolkits also. That is very important question regarding the challenge of social media.
I don't understand what you mean by digital sovereignty. What do you mean by digital sovereignty?
Digital sovereignty for the bilateral relation, maintaining the bilateral relation. There is so many stories, because just we have seen how the people from Canada just try to disturb the sovereignty of India in Kisan Andolan, in Kisan movement recently.
See, let me say this: freedom of expression is a one thing, and creating a fake news and hatred, other things.
I'm using word sovereignty, either digital sovereignty, as a country sovereignty, and different one.
Yeah, definitely. I will say the people who are living in India, they have every right to comment on. They have, in my understanding, you have every right to comment on 215 and 20 children who died, and hundreds of years ago, and with the Christian missionary, whatever they did, or the black people, how they were oppressed, are the native Indians, how they are oppressed. Because we are living in the name of our program is called global. Okay, is a global media, is global governance. So be it in Canada, be it in India, digitally we can speak on the issue of freedom of speech, issue of other issues which affect the citizen as a global citizen, or Canadian citizen as an Indian citizen. So you can definitely comment on those topics, that how black community is getting treated in US or in Canada. Why we think that
Sorry. This is a matter of the bilateral relation. Abhishek ji,
that's all right.
Abhishek ji, just how Dr. Loka Sharma just brief about the digital sovereignty. But regarding either living in America and in India, is America has right to intervene in the name of digital sovereignty in the India affairs? My question is straight one.
No, so
should be allowed? Should be allowed?
So see, digital sovereignty should be respected.
Yeah.
And the second thing is like that. What your first question to Mr. Tiwari ji, Rakesh ji, like yes, definitely see the positive aspect of social media also. Like India have a very good relationship with Canada, right? And even something happened, right? Misinterpretation of information should not happen. Like one time during the farm agitation, somehow that Canadian government has given some statement which is not accepted by the government of India. Very quickly, with the help of social media, they intact with each other, and they communicated with each other and resolved the issue. There is no misunderstanding and all. So social media is also strengthening. Like even today, because US is the first country which is providing the aid to European countries and Asian countries who is facing the atrocity of COVID-19. So I just received a tweet from Senator Ed Markey. He is a senator from Massachusetts, and I can share you all with the help of social media only. He has tweeted everything with the social media immediately. Like India is a
This is the
1.4
problem,
billion
Abhishek
country.
ji. This is the problem. This is only the problem because communication is going through the
Let him finish, Anita ji. Let him
That's why
finish
I'm
now.
saying that
Yeah.
everything have two aspects. I being a youth, being a
Yeah.
Indian, being an intelligent people, right? If I will go to the negative side, lot of negativity is there.
Yeah.
I'm happy at least US have 100 senator. One senator has tweeted in favor of India, and immediately here in US they are taking very seriously. If senator has written something, they will cancel your visa. If senator has written something, they will take the change in the policies. So I'm saying that I'm taking the positive aspect of social media. Very soon, like White House has listening that person. If 1.4 is a population of country, then the ratio of 8 should be more and more. 11 billion doses they are going to provide to the Asian and European country. So I'm sure that India will get their own proportionate. So side by side, yeah, everything have both aspect. Negativity is also there. Like if we did a lot of analysis like why this COVID wave 2 impacted more to India. You go that and last 6 months, all the government, social, everybody, all the organizations are only focusing towards the farm bill. They shifted the government's focus towards
Yeah.
the farm bill instead of the main core problem of COVID-19. And wave 2, wave 1, we did not get affected. Wave 2, we collapsed. So this is the negative aspect. So because of social media,
No,
they
no, no, no.
implement.
Official. My question is, when we will do official communication through social media. If the government is informing government via social media, it means there is some gap between these two government because
No.
when they are communicating via statement through a channel via phone calls or calls, the version will be absolute as it is. It will come by from the government. But when it is coming from the government, any language they can be
This is
said
What's
last
correct
wrong
round.
with
or
that?
incorrect.
What is wrong with
And
that?
that is the issue. We cannot use official. We cannot go do official things on social media. We have to
Why not?
No,
understand what
no,
is
no,
the
no.
meaning of social
Anita ji,
media
Anita ji,
and when we have to
Anita ji.
use social media.
Why not?
No,
The social media
no,
is more
Anita ji,
negative
you
as
are
compared to
forgetting.
positive
Anita ji,
because
you are
we are
forgetting.
using social media as a tool, as a weapon.
No, no, no.
And we are
No, no.
using everyone is
Anita ji, how Twitter is going to be feel is stronger, either on WhatsApp and whoever. How the government of India, this is also one aspect.
this
How
is the
the
fault of any government, not only on government of India.
What's wrong with that? If
Of
governments are communicating through
most
the
of the
social media,
countries,
what's
no,
they
no,
wrong?
are
no,
using
not
Twitter
wrong,
as their
not wrong.
official
But how
platform.
the
Of,
no,
if you are giving Twitter
Anita
as
ji,
your official
Ani-
platform, it's but obvious that Twitter will use you.
no,
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 so
Anita ji,
Every
Rakesh,
media
Anita
is there.
ji,
please,
in one
please.
statement, let me explain her. So you know
Yeah.
Sushma Swaraj, right?
Yeah.
She has given the concept of home after home. Here in we are living here 10,000 miles away from India, right? So
Okay.
see here, everywhere you cannot implant government officers, government offices,
This
Indian
is a
consulate.
single.
Listen, and
I was
No,
ready
no,
for
but
this
please.
example also. I was ready for this
Anita ji,
example also. I was waiting for this example. The so Sushma Swaraj, the only one lady who has
Anita ji,
used this social media
how you,
as a
Anita ji,
social work. Other
Anita
are
ji,
using to
Anita ji,
disturb the society.
Anita
Anita
No.
ji,
ji.
let's give an opportunity to everyone to talk. See, when you are
Yes,
talking,
please,
everyone
please,
is on
please.
silent. So please
Yeah,
respect
yeah.
everyone and please give an opportunity.
No,
Abhishek
no,
ji, please
no,
go
no.
ahead.
Okay,
so on
okay.
social media, for your information, on social media, governments are not doing any kind of agreement or any kind of legal exchange of document and all these things.
Yes, true.
It's a kind of like a agreement or kind of consensus we are making here. If suppose that Indian
Inform
government and
informational details.
correct information details, right? And if somebody is in problem, right, they can ask help. India
Yeah,
has helped 90s country before wave 2, and they have donated lots of vaccination.
That's that
Content.
social media played a very vital role just
role,
to
yes.
spread the news. So my now I have a question to everyone, Dr. R.P. Bhatt. How the fake news and toolkits affected the sovereignty of the country and the freedom of the society? Very this is a straight question, a straight answer.
Thanks, Rakesh. Yes, of
This
course.
question to everyone.
Yes, I mean, of course, it will. It is a kind of indirect threats to the sovereignty of the nation and disrespecting the law of the land. That is one thing. Second thing, especially in case of India, because India is a very, very different country than any other country of the world. Be it the factor of religion or ethnic cleansing, or social and linguistic varieties. So the room for disinformation is very much there. But of course, I do agree with other panelists that social media has really helped and served people very well. I give you one example from Uttarakhand. You remember when the cloud burst happened, then people could inform other people, living on the lower level of the river, and so people could be saved. If that would not happen, I think many more people would die. That is, of course, one thing. But it is for sure that any company, any social media that is entering India must respect Indian laws and work according to Indian laws, because that is what they are also doing in Europe. And if they don't follow European laws, European Union is putting the financial fine. But I wonder why Indian government failed to do that. And the European Union has even once said that they will charge, for example, Facebook, Twitter, or whatever, up to their 6% of their revenue. 6% of their revenue, and if they don't agree on that and even don't comply, then it can go more and more. So this is one of the wonderful, I think, method to to work with them, or to deal with the social media. India is not doing that for some reason, but India also has got another problem, and that problem is this. Of course, the differences of political parties there. There is no rule, there is no quality at all. I mean, I get angry sometimes when I teach. My students ask, who can become a politician in India, and ask who can become a politician in Germany. Who can become a writer in India? Who can become a writer in Germany? I mean, there is no system. We have failed very much in this area, in this category. And this is one reason why person like Jack Dorsey, I think I don't want to use any bad term for this guy, but I think he has no idea about India, Indian ethos, Indian culture, when he put this slogan on the Brahmanical patriarchy. I think that was the end of his, this person, because he don't understand anything about India. And Indian failed to understand also that they are also being ruled or carried away by this colonial hangover. And that's the reason somebody was raising the issue. Why is it that the Indian companies are not coming up with things like Twitter or Facebook or things like that? Because most of the engineers, most of the workers that are working for Facebook, Twitter, they all come from IITs India, IIM India. India failed to use these people. This is really hilarious in some way.
Dr. Bhatt, just your concern is valid, and just really in the practical and to the point. But there is also just India is trying to be the stronger before the day, and India is also trying to learn and the law of the land. That this is seen of India is not like that 2014 before and after. India has changed a lot, developed a lot in so many ways, and going to develop next 5 years. You will see 7 years. India will be the top in so many ways. So in the infrastructure, in the engineering and the IT, and just we are seeing the two IT persons sitting in America. They are the backbone of America. They can be the backbone of the India also. So this is depend on the, but just how just you are talking about the political grounds and how the writers, you know, everybody know the ethos of India. So Dr. Aloka, just the quick, I'll just actually Dr. Bhatt is going to sentimental inform if you're talking about the India. So nice to him, but Dr. Aloka Sharma.
No,
Just
this
to
was
tell me
not
that.
sentimental,
Just,
Rakesh. This
yeah.
is factual.
Yeah.
Sir, I just want to conclude by saying, yeah, I just want
no. Just one moment. Just 1 second. Just this is the when facts connects to the minds that become person sentimental. Thank you. Dr. Aloka Sharma.
Yes, sir. Sir, I want to conclude that social media has so many advantages, and that
No,
has been already
not to
acknowledged by
conclude. No,
the honorable minister also. So that we cannot doubt. The only thing is that,
Aloka ji, my question is straightforward. Not to the concluding. It will be the continuous process. We'll discuss until the solution will find. So
right.
my question is straightforward. Fake news in toolkits. Why and what for? Either from the social media companies or they're created by the any person, any party. Why and what for? A straight question, straight answer. I also take the answer from Abhishek, Anita ji, Ajay ji, and Mr.
Yeah.
Rakesh Kavsari. We are 3 Rakesh now, so coincidentally.
Don't forget me, yeah.
Yeah, no, sir.
Fake
One
news.
Rakesh is America, one is Canada, one is India. Chain is Mr. Abhishek Singh. Yeah, please carry on.
Yeah, so I say that fake news is created for the political purposes and for other purposes, and the fake news cannot be, we say only the Indian people they are indulging in that. As I told you about the digital sovereignty, so anybody like Canada or people during the farmer agitations or various agitations, they use this platform to disturb the country because they see that if the country is peaceful, it will become prosperous, and so that why not indulge the country in these kind of riots only, just to. So I see that there can be many motives of different colors which I cannot discuss in detail. So that can be but it has to be regulated by the government strictly.
Yeah.
And the suggestion is very good. We have to impose the financial obligations also. I just approve this also. Thank you.
So nice. Rakesh Kavsari ji.
Yeah. So as just now the panel was mentioned that yes, this is
simple, direct question. I think direct answer, if possible. Why the fake news and toolkits for what and for what reasons from the concerned companies or the concerned people.
Right. So this is mainly used for the politics only. If you see any of the wrong messages or wrong platforms are coming, that will be only used for the politics, no other things.
So nice answer. So nice answer. I like it. So nice answer. It's straightforward.
Yeah,
simple answer.
and the second point I just want to add, and the important thing is on the education system also. It's damaging the complete education system by propagating the false news, which is impacting the young generation and the future generation.
Yeah, agreed. Rakesh Tiwari ji.
Ji. Straight question. What's your straight question? Let me give the straight answer. Yes, sir.
Sir, fake news and toolkits. What for? Why? What reason?
Well,
what purpose?
Okay. So fake news, of course, and toolkits, they are made to help vested interest. Simple as that. We know that celebrities, in order to make small tweet, they charge money. I have been asked. Okay, so we know that how this game gets played. In the farmer, when the farmer protest was happening, all this so-called celebrities, when they were tweeting, they were creating I will say misconception and false and lies about it. I want to just go and pinpoint one thing. This Ghaziabad incident which has happened, and where the media was reporting.
Sorry, sir. No time, sir. Sorry. We'll take it another way. Abhishek.
Okay.
Abhishek, please. Thank you.
So, according to me, we should give the advantage to the social media companies, because the ratio of false news is very less. One kind of one-time toolkit kind of thing happened, and if we see that social media is developed across the platform, across the world. It is covering the whole universe. So it is also very difficult to find out who is right, who is wrong, and what kind of tweet he is doing. Means like 1.4 billion is in India, right? But total, I think 11 billion or 12 billion, we all are there. So monitoring each and every one, validating each and every one, authenticate, giving the authorization and authentication of their content is little bit hectic job, and the ratio is very less. So we should be still remain positive. But yes, one thing like that, I have one concern, like social media company who is running across the board, across the world, they should create the uniform rules. It should not change on the geography basis and on the
and not
planet
to
basis.
Trump should be out and Biden should be in, not like that.
That kind of thing. They should show their uniformity and a standard set of rules for which is applicable for each and everyone.
Okay.
And yeah,
Ajay Rai bola ji.
So the new media has posed new challenges. I mean, we have had both good sides and bad sides for social media. Now the question is to be or not to be. But what I believe is, for example, yesterday only I saw a post in Facebook about Saibek Singh, who was the general of Bhindranwala. So should those kind of posts, why those kind of posts? What narrative they are trying to set up? And
that is a matter of concern.
Yes,
That is a matter of concern. Yeah.
and so shouldn't the Facebook delete those posts? And another thing I feel is it all started from Arab Spring. You know, and I personally believe to set up any anti-country narrative. They are taking a lot of money. And they are channelized, and
That
then
should not be.
they,
That should
yeah,
not be.
they. So
That should not be.
I
Agreed.
mean, if you are
Agreed.
if you are just a platform, you should be unbiased. We are fine with.
So that's
expressions.
Abhishek pointed out very diplomatically. All the media companies should be informed policy to just protect the as Alokaji said, the digital sovereignty should be maintained
Yes,
equally.
you should not.
Anita
You should not
ji,
manipulate the
very
narrative.
brief. Anita ji, very brief. Only 1 minute we have, please. Anita ji. Okay, no issue. So just so nice of you. Thank you. Just you participated in this great show, a challenge of social media, right to privacy, and government of India, and just how and the global government and the different government in Canada and Germany and USA, how they are behaving or not. This is a matter of concern. There's very good thoughts from you, all of you, and just fake news and toolkits should not be used against any country, any ethos, not for the wrong narratives.
Should I
That
say
should not
something?
be. And
Should I say one
madam,
line? Should I say one line?
madam, going to the finishing now. Just you can add one line, please. Just they're going to finishing touch,
Yes,
please.
my
When I was
point is,
announce your name, you are
don't
dropping actually.
interpret my statement that official. I'm talking about the official channel. Official channel should be.
Okay,
in
nobody is
official channel,
misinterpreting
not on
your
social media.
your
Second
thought.
thing
Don't
is,
worry,
you have
and we
talked
all are
about the
actually
toolkit and all.
on the same platform.
Twitter
Just
is
going to
also making
discuss
money
the
via this toolkit
things
and
of the
playing
national
politics.
interest, either interest of the Germany, either interest of Canada, either interest of USA. So we should think on the same line. Thus, informed policy should be there. And the fake news and toolkits should not be highlighted, not to be protected in the name of the rights of and the privacy. Will not allow, we should not allow, and government of India, whatever taking action, if the Twitter is the go beyond the law of the land, they should be treated like the concerned, whatever they have did, wrong thing, okay, good thing, should be praised. And that both side also, social media, pros and cons, we have been just realizing and experiencing. Will the experience like that? So nice of you, just you participate in the great show of Global Governance News TV, and go and subscribe
Thank
and
you.
like our channel. And again, we invite you for this continuous show. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Thank you, Rakesh ji. Thank you all.